What's up, y'all? It's Lawrence from Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk. And today, I got that DC Multiverse steel figure from Mcfarlane Toys. As soon as this dropped, I had to have it. Let's go. Oh, here we go, man. Like I just said, as soon as this was announced, I had to have it. I'm a big John Henry Irons fan, big fan of steel. I was like in 6th or 5th grade when that whole Death of Superman storyline came out, and I collected all of it. You remember those comics where it just had their emblems and you opened it up and then the next cover you saw their suit? I had that. I have like doubles of his. I love freaking steel, and I love adding to like factions and families. So I'm happy that I'm adding him to my Superman family display. Anyways, enough talking. Let's take a look at the package. Now this is where it gets weird. Steel Reign of the Supermen, which is the comic book I was just talking about. But this is not the way he looked in the comic. This is actually based off of his later suits. I forget the story arc, but that's not what he looks like. He looks like this in the Reign of Superman storyline after the Death of Superman. So I don't know, it's weird. Here's the art on the back, which is much closer to the figure in a much later suit of his. But anyways, so that's kind of weird. Here's the code if you're looking for this guy. I got mine right from Mcfarlane. I haven't seen these pop up in stores yet, but hopefully they will be coming soon. Let's get them open. So I love steel, but I tell you what I didn't love. Shaq as Steel. Although he looked perfect for the role, that movie was weird. That was at a time with superhero movies. If you think the MCU or the DC stuff that came out doesn't match the comics, well, go watch Steel. You'll see how removed that's from the actual source material. But what do we got in here? Typical Mcfarlane fashion. We have a card and figure stand. Let's get this open. You know, I don't do too many cuts. You get to experience it. So here's the card, just like the artwork on the back of the box. And let's take a look at his data file. And I mean, pretty much it's the storyline of Death of Superman and a little bit onward. You can pause it to get a good read. Let me just make sure it's in focus. But like I said, this is not that figure, but off a jump, it's a good looking figure, man. It's a good looking figure. I love the fact that there's a member of the, hold on. Are you kidding? Oh, I'm about to say, I was about to get gassed that there's no plastic ties, but there are, in typical Mcfarlane fashion, there are plastic annoying ties. I don't know why they're necessary. I don't get the feeling like these figures are gonna fall out in the box, but it is what it is. But he doesn't have many. Oh, that's, yeah, just one tie. Get him out his cape. And he comes with, of course, his hammer. We'll take a look at that in a second. Let's take a look at this figure. Let me bring it down a little bit. Yeah, buddy. A little bit more light on him. All right. I'm loving this figure, man. So the sculpt is really great. This is sculpted right here. It has that kind of look like he did make this in his factory. There's something unpolished about it. It's not like a Iron Man's. You might hear my son in the background. He's having a good freaking time, as always. But it's not like an Iron Man suit, you know, where it's like super perfect. There's something real rigid. And as my boy Jack would say, there's a lot of texture here, as you can see. Now, there are some weird blue splotches of paint throughout. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. That's kind of weird. Doesn't look good, but it also doesn't stand out and incredible in a big way. But that's kind of weird. Give you a 360. Loving his boots. Cape, no S on the back, but to be fair, barely any of the Superman figures have S's on the back. And there he is in all his glory. Dope gauntlets. All right, let me raise this back up a little bit. Let's take a better look at the details here. Okay. So right away, you just see this awesome freaking detail right here. I love that. And right here. You know, I thought this figure would need a wash to bring up the detail, but there's so many different uses of paint and textures and I guess different kinds of plastic where you really feel the ruggedness. His hands were dope. Get a good look at that. Look at that ass. That belt right here and just the white, but it's kind of like it's been through stuff. Like this suit's been worn in battle before. Texture. Good look at these boots. These details are great, and I mean the head sculpt is fantastic. Like you know exactly who that is. Some more light on them. Let's check out his articulation. So this inhibits him from being able to go all the way up. This side, not as much. Huh, that's weird. So you get him here. Oh, there you go. The ab crunch. In here, like the diaper, you know, people complain about that Mcfarlane diaper, but here, it doesn't look bad at all. The splits. It would have been cool if this came with type of like rocket boost for his feet. That'd be cool. I wonder if you can take one off the bat wing and put it on his feet. I don't have that bat wing, but if you do, let me know. That'd be cool to add here. Of course, it doesn't come with a flight stand. All flying figures should come with a flight stand, Mcfarlane. This is cool. Like this gauntlet is different than this one. So it's almost like he shoots with this one. I don't know. I don't know the details of this particular suit. This is great, man. I'm digging this. He's not your traditional Reign of Superman steel figure. He's not the original suit. And you know that going in as soon as you saw the picture. So if you're upset about that, I feel you. If you got the coin, Mafex has an amazing steel figure. It looks chrome. It's pretty much exactly from the comics. This, I kind of like this better. There's more texture. Feels like it's a real suit of armor. I mean, look at his feet. Look at these feet right here, man. Can you see him? It just feels like he's in an actual suit of armor.
not kind of just a chromed, painted human body, which it kind of looked like, in my opinion, in the original book and the Mafex figure, which are great if you like that, but I like mine looking more like a legit suit of armor. So I don't mind this version of Steel. My Superman display isn't specifically of any like kind of comic. It's just my kind of like my favorite of the family. How good does that look? And then this came a little bent up. I guess I can dip it in some hot water to get it back, but let's take a look at his hammer. This probably could have been done a little better. A little better. Yeah, I would have preferred just more of a solid piece. Similar to, you know, the way they, you know, I wouldn't have mind the base to be more like this Tim Drake staff, just like kind of just straight. I don't need these ribbings. Kind of reminds me of Catwoman's whip a little bit, but it's all right. It's okay. It'll do. It'll do. Let me see here. Put how well does it go in? These hands are pretty stiff, so it's not going in smoothly. Pause. That's what she said. All of it. Oh, you might need to warm these up with some warm water, hot water. But I got it. You know, and it's just like, it's amazing. You know, you think about John Henry Irons, this super smart but tough as nails guy. He's kind of a member of the Superman family. You know, he works as Superman. These superpowered Kryptonian alien beings. And he's just a guy in a metal suit. You know, that's pretty badass. That you are down to help Superman fight Superman-like threats. But you're just a guy in a metal suit. That's pretty dope, man. The cape is, you know, it's typical Mcfarlane cape. It's not the softest in the world, but it's also not crazy stiff. It's also not so heavy that he falls down because of it. And also his feet are really wide. So you don't even need a figure stand with this guy unless you're going to do some cool pose, which I probably will in my display, which is not up because I had to take some stuff down, had some guests over, had to turn my office into a guest room, so you won't be able to see the display in this video, but you will in the future. Okay, so let's see how he fits with some of my Superman figures, right? So you have Steel, and I put him with the Action Comics 1000 Superman, the OG. And these guys look pretty great. And I don't mind that Steel's taller than Superman. Like, he's in a suit of armor. He should stand taller than him. He doesn't have to, but it does. I don't mind that because he, like I said, he's in a suit of armor. So that's pretty cool, seeing these guys together, you know. I think they match up really well. And Jack has the head sculpt from the Death and Return that he put on his 1000 with the mullet. So he's probably, when he gets his Steel figure, you'll probably see pictures of something that will resemble that Reign of Superman story much more than mine will. But if this isn't your Superman you're using, as far as your Mcfarlane's, you know, you might be using this Rebirth suit Superman right here. And that works too. I'm not a fan of this body buck. It looks just a little too muscular for me, but I dig the Rebirth, and of course hate this. This isn't a review of this figure, but Mcfarlane, stop doing that. That looks good together too. But this is my main Superman right here. Boom. And then, okay, so I'll put him right here since that's my main Superman, right? And then to resemble a bit of that Death of Superman Reign of Superman story. We'll throw in Connor Kent with him, which looks pretty freaking great. He might need a figure stand. Mcfarlane figures don't stand incredibly well, but there we go. And that's pretty cool, man. You know, I can see these two on a mission together. Kind of like, you know, he's straight-laced by the book, and you know, Superboy. That'd be a pretty fun kind of buddy cop story right here. This is what I do in my mind with my displays. I kind of just daydream about it. So that's part of the Superman family right there. Then next up, son of Superman. Freaking John Kent. Superboy in my display. It's kind of weird to have two guys who are both Superman. Then if he's Superboy, who is he? I don't know. I don't know if DC figured it out yet. But they look pretty cool together. I can see him calling him Uncle John. You know, it's just pretty cool. Both their names are John. Jonathan Kent, John Henry Irons, Uncle John. If you're wondering about his head sculpt real quick, I didn't really care for the one that it came with. So I took my Superboy Prime figure and substituted it. Something about this that kind of felt more menacing, and I feel like it goes so much better here with Superboy Prime than it did with John Kent. Right? I think so. And I think that he looks much more like Dad. That side eye is killing me, but what are you gonna do? That's Mcfarlane. So that's it. And then, you know, the next person in my Superman family is, of course, Supergirl. Now, this is the Supergirl that I use. This is from Injustice. It has that kind of Karen hair. Sorry, Karen's out there, but you know what I'm talking about. I love this figure. I don't mind Kara's suit being slightly much different than Superman's, because in my mind, in my headcanon for my display, Superman's suit was, you know, inspired from Krypton, but it was made by his mother, where when she crash landed much older, she actually came with her Kryptonian garb. So that's kind of my headcanon, and you get to see her with Steel. That's a pretty dope team up right there. And I like that, you know, some of the S's are traditional and some are kind of like different. I like that. That's my Superman family. And if you have the Hush Superman, I don't have that Mcfarlane Hush Superman, but I do have the Death of Superman, that 2-pack that came with Doomsday, and it's pretty much, it's the same book as the Rebirth, but if you wanted to get an idea of what your Hush Superman would look with John Henry Irons, that's kind of clean. That really works, actually. And I usually don't like this bigger buck, but with John Henry standing taller, it doesn't look too crazy. But yeah, but this is my Superman family. If you want to see him with some villains, you know, I think this is kind of a fun matchup right here. You know, kind of have, so they all go crashing down. But thinking about Lex Luthor in his suit, you know, I don't know how many, if there's too many stories. I'm sure there's a bunch, but I feel like these two would be just like the dopest rivals. And I know Lex Luthor's a Superman villain, but hear me out. Like, both brilliant men who make tech. You know, there would be such a level of respect for each other, you know, but of course, sworn enemies. And just another kind of Superman figure. Got Ultraman right here. It's pretty cool. And then of course, you know, he don't even fit in frame. He doesn't even fit in frame. But you got, let me raise this up. Like, that's Doomsday figure versus Steel, which is dope. That's pretty fire. But yeah, man, it's a pretty quick video. And if you have some Superman figures that aren't necessarily Mcfarlane, I think they can work. Of course, the sculpt would be different. But since Steel is a figure that might stand taller anyway because of his armor, it may not look too crazy if this was Superman. You know, Superman standing easily 6'3", and in Steel's suit, he's like 7 foot. You know, that kind of headcanon kind of works for me. So I think that looks good together. Mcfarlane, when are you gonna make one of these? It's not my favorite costume, but if they do it in the art style of Jim Lee, gots to get it. But yeah, this is my Superman, my super family right here. I don't have Eradicator. I tried to get him. I think he was like a Walmart exclusive or something, and I just could not find him anywhere. And then I just gave up. Eradicator, you know, it's funny. I love the Reign of Superman storyline. I can't wait for Cyborg to come out. Hopefully he looks closer to that than the new stuff. Obviously, I love Superboy. I love Steel, as you heard. But Eradicator actually did nothing for me when it came to that comic. You know, outside of the mystery of, is he Superman? Sorry about that. My hand was just in the shot as I'm trying to get this guy to stand. Outside of him just being, is he Superman? He didn't do much for me. So, you know, and then he wasn't even the Eradicator that I'm used to. So he's not part of this family. Dom Toretto. But this is my Superman family. It's pretty dope if you ask me. What do you guys think? Are you hunting this figure down? Let me know. Let me know if you like them. Let me know if you hate them. Let me know if you prefer the Mafex more. Let me freaking know. We go live every Sunday talking about geek stuff, reviewing movies and TV shows. We're doing much more unboxings this year, especially me and Jack. We dropping some really cool stuff. I got some more cool stuff coming. And there he goes. You don't need this in here. We got some more cool stuff coming, so make sure you just check out the channel. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. I will be back. Same super time, same super channel. Peace. Wait. Hold up. How can I forget? How can I freaking forget? You have to pair him up or at least try to see what he looks like with this guy. What are we doing here? Of course, this is not from, oh, he's so dusty. I'm embarrassed. So embarrassing. Of course, he is not from the Reign of Superman. This is not the one. This is the one from the comic, Superman and Lois and Clark. Forget it. I forget the name of it. But yes, he's the one where we first get introduced, I think, to John Kent, his son. And he flies around in this suit because he's in a world where there's already Superman and New 52 is a whole big thing. Anyways, so if you have that mullet Superman, you can throw that head on this bad boy and you kind of have your own makeshift storyline. I don't have Eradicator and Cyborg's not out yet, but you get the idea. Had to show you him with this guy, just in case y'all want to go down this road. Anyway, I'm done now. Peace.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk.